Hello and welcome to Replacement Player Baseball. Today, after a lengthy hiatus, we are coming back for 3 games in Toronto against the Blue Jays. The Cubs are 2-3 on this road trip so far, having gotten swept in Milwaukee by the Brewers and then rebounding with 2 wins in Cincinnati against the first place Reds. So now, facing Toronto at Skydome, we are going to see Cubs and Blue Jays today. The Cubs coming off of a day off, actually having 2 days off out of the last 4. The Cubs are going to send Asdrubal Cabrera up as the leadoff hitter, followed by Kris Bryant, Xander Bogaerts, Danny Santana, Ian Happ, Mike Tauchman, Jackie Bradley, Wilson Ramos, and Jason Hayward. Blake Snell will be the starter for the Cubs, as he was recently acquired by another American League East team, the Rays. He is acquainted and familiar with these Blue Jays. He will be facing a lineup of Anthony Alford, Rowdy Tellez, Bo Bichette, Randall Grichuk, former Cub killer down in St. Louis, Reese McGuire, Teoscar Hernandez, Derek Fisher, Cavan Biggio, and Ruben Tejada. Chase Anderson is going to be on the mound for the Blue Jays. He is making appearance number 30 of the season. He is 5-5 with a 3.38 ERA and a 1.15 WHIP. Blake Snell, on the season, has started 25 games. He is 6-10 with a 5.15 ERA and a 1.55 WHIP. The roof is closed today. There are 23,258 in attendance. And let's get this game underway. We are going to see Asdrubal Cabrera stepping up to the plate to lead off for the Cubs against the Blue Jays' Chase Anderson. The Cubs come into this game with a 57-63 record, 3rd place in the NL Central. The Toronto Blue Jays come in with a 53-70 record, and they are 4th place in the AL East. It is raining outside, and the roof is closed. And now Chase Anderson on the mound making the pitch. And he gets an 0-2 fastball by, and Cabrera strikes out looking. Here comes Kris Bryant. Bryant has been red hot recently. Facing Anderson, here's the first pitch. And Bryant slaps that one over the shortstop's head into left field. That is going to be a single with 1 out for Kris Bryant. As he is standing on first, Xander Bogaerts strides up to the plate. Bogaerts facing with an 0-2 pitch. And here comes a line drive into center field. That is going to drop for a base hit. Bryant was surprised by it. He only went about halfway to second base, as Bichette allowed it to fall and play on a hop. So Bryant now is on second, Bogaerts on first with back-to-back singles, and Danny Santana is coming up to the plate. Santana waiting for the 2-2 pitch, and here it comes. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Santana is sent back to the dugout with a curveball. So 2 outs now for the Cubs, 2 men on, and Ian Happ is the next batter. Happ stepping up to face Anderson with a 1-ball count. And that is popped up, shallow right center field, going to be playable, and this time Bichette Alford actually decides to make the catch before it hits the ground. So the Cubs strand 2. We go to the bottom of the first of a scoreless game. Yes, I apologize. Bichette is the shortstop. The center fielder is Alford, who is leading off now for the Blue Jays against lefty Blake Snell. Snell, with a 2-2 count, is looking for the sign, and here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Snell strikes him out with a fastball at 96. And now, Rowdy Tellez is the batter. With 1 out, nobody on. Here's a 1-ball count. Grounder towards short. The third baseman, Bryant, actually has it as the shortstop is playing behind second. He throws to first, and that will be out number 2. Bo Bichette now the batter. 2 outs, nobody on. 2-2 count to Bo Bichette. And there is strike 3 swinging with a fastball, and the inning is over. We go to the top of the second inning. It is a 0-0 game. Mike Tauschman is going to lead off for the Cubs in the second. He faces Anderson with a 2-1 count. There's a liner into left field. That's going to be a base hit. So Tauschman has a leadoff single for the Cubs here in the top of the second inning. Jackie Bradley now the batter. With nobody out, runner on first and a full count pitch. That is low for ball 4, so Bradley draws the walk. And the Cubs again have first and second. Wilson Ramos now the batter. Nobody out. Top of the second inning, 2 men on. And an 0-2 pitch to Wilson Ramos. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Ramos is sent packing with the fastball at 93. And now Jason Hayward is the batter. With 1 out and runners on first and second, Cubs trying to break the scoreless tie. Here's a 3-0 pitch to Jason Hayward. And that is outside as Hayward draws the walk. Good eye by Jason Hayward. Draws the walk on 4 straight pitches, and now the bases are loaded. That is base on balls number 50 on the season for Jason Hayward. And the Cubs have turned the lineup over as Dribble Cabrera is now the batter. He comes up with 1 out, the bases loaded, and a 1-ball count. Little nubber out in front of the plate, and the catcher picks it up, steps on the plate for the first out, throws to first, but they are unable to complete the double play as Cabrera is hustling down the line. So the run does not score, the bases are still loaded, and there are now 2 outs, and Chris Bryant is the batter. Critical at bat right here. Bryant facing Anderson. Here is a 2-2 pitch. And Bryant pops it up to left field. That is probably going to end the inning. And that is out number 3 as Hernandez puts it away. So the Cubs load the bases. They do not score. We go to the bottom of the second of a 0-0 game. Randall Gruchik is batting now for the Blue Jays against Blake Snell. Here is a 1-1 pitch. And that is popped up to left. Heading back toward the warning track and making the catch is Tauschman for out number 1. McGuire now the batter. 1 out, nobody on. 2-2 pitch. McGuire waiting. And that's popped up to left again. This time Tauschman is going to come in for it. And he will make the catch, putting it away for out number 2. Teoscar Hernandez now is the batter with 2 outs, nobody on, and Snell working with a 3-1 count. And that is low. It is ball 4, so Snell issues the 2-out walk, which brings up Derek Fisher. Fisher with a runner on first, 2 outs, and a 2-2 offering from Snell. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and Fisher could not hold up on that changeup. So the Cubs exit the inning, stranding a runner on first. We go to the top of the third of a 0-0 game. Xander Bogaerts is going to lead off for the Cubs. Plenty of base runners in this game, but no runs scored so far. Bogaerts facing Anderson with an 0-2 count. Swing and a miss for strike 3. That's 4 strikeouts on the day for Chase Anderson. And it brings up Danny Santana. Here's a 1-2 pitch to Santana. And that's lined over the third baseman's head into left field. That'll be another base hit. 4th of the day for the Cubs in 3 innings. And with 1 out, Ian Happ comes up with Santana on first. Top of the 3rd inning, and the runner goes. Santana takes off. He gets a great jump. He slides in, and he is safe at second. No, he is out. That throw looked like it was late, but the umpire called him out. Unbelievable. So Santana is out at second. There are now 2 outs and nobody on, and Happ continues his at-bat with a 1-2 count. And Happ swings and misses for strike 3. That was a fastball that was way inside, but he chased it anyway. 5 strikeouts on the day for Chase Anderson. We go to the bottom of the 3rd of a 0-0 game. Blake Snell facing Cavan Biggio to lead off the bottom of the 3rd inning. Here is a 2-2 pitch from Snell. Grounder toward first. Santana has it. Steps on the base, and that is out number 1. Tejada now is the batter. Ruben Tejada with 1 out, nobody on. And a full count pitch to Ruben Tejada. Strike 3 called. That was a fastball right on the outside part of the plate. Snell gets strikeout number 4, and it brings Anthony Alford back up. Alford waiting for the pitch. That's a liner into center field. That is going to be the first base hit of the ball game for the Blue Jays. A clean single into straightaway center field for Anthony Alford in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And now Rowdy Tellez is the batter with 2 outs and a runner on first. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Grounder toward 3rd. Bryant has it, throws to first, and that will retire the side. So the Cubs get out of the inning. The runner is stranded. We go to the top of the 4th inning. It is still a 0-0 game in Toronto. Mike Tauchman now leading off for the Cubs in the top of the 4th. Anderson working with a 1-ball count. Popped up to deep left field. It's going back toward the warning track, and Tauchman flies out to Hernandez for out number 1. Jackie Bradley now the batter with 1 out and nobody on. Here's a 1-strike count to Jackie Bradley. Popped up to center field. This will be playable. Coming in is Alford, and he makes the catch with plenty of room to spare for out number 2. Ramos now the batter with 2 outs and nobody on. Here's an 0-2 pitch to Wilson Ramos. Oh, and he's hit. He takes that one to the shoulder, and he heads down to first to claim his base. So Jason Hayward now batting with 2 outs and a runner on first. Here's an 0-2 pitch to Jason Hayward. That gets away. It rolls all the way to the backstop. Heading down to second is Ramos on the wild pitch. So now Hayward batting with a runner in scoring position and 2 out in the top of the 4th inning. Hayward waiting for the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So that ends the inning. The runner is stranded. We go to the bottom of the 4th of a 0-0 game. Blake Snell will face Bo Bichette to lead off the Blue Jays half of the 4th inning. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Liner into center field. That's going to be another base hit. Bichette stops at first, and that will be a leadoff single for the Blue Jays. Randall Grichuk is now the batter. With a 1-ball count, Snell working, and the runner takes off. He pitches out. The throw goes down to second, and he is out. Wilson Ramos throws out Bichette at second base. The Cubs knew it was coming. They pitched out and executed that play perfectly as Bichette is thrown out on the attempted steal. Grichuk continuing to bat now with a 2-2 count and 1 out. And that is popped up to left center field. Heading over and making the play is going to be Bradley for out number 2. McGuire now batting with 2 outs and nobody on. Here's a full count pitch. Swinging and a miss for strike 3. Snell gets him with the fastball. I believe that is strikeout number 5 on the day for Blake Snell. We go to the top of the 5th inning. It is a 0-0 ball game as Drupal Cabrera leading off for the Cubs in the top of the 5th. Facing Chase Anderson, who is at 64 pitches. Here's a 2-0 count. Anderson working. And that's lined into right field. It is going to be played on a hop. And as Drupal Cabrera has a leadoff single for the Cubs in the top of the 5th inning. Well, let's see if the Cubs can get something going. Chris Bryant now the batter. With nobody out and a runner on first. Here's a 1-2 pitch to Chris Bryant. Strike 3 called. Bryant was not expecting the fastball right there. So, strikeout number 7 on the day for Chase Anderson, and it brings up Xander Bogaerts with 1 out, runner on first. Full count pitch. Strike 3 called. Strikeout number 8 on the day for Chase Anderson, . And now Santana's the batter with 2 outs and a runner on first. Santana waiting for the first pitch. That is lined to deep right field. It is going to be a home run for Danny Santana. He breaks the tie in the top of the 5th inning. Man, that ball just kept carrying. And the right fielder looked like he was going to have a play, but eventually he looked up and it just cleared 409 feet out to right center field. So the Cubs now own a 2-0 lead on the Danny Santana 2-run homer. Ian Happ now the batter with 2 outs and nobody on. Happ waiting for the first pitch. Grounder toward first. Picked up and stepping on the base is Tellez, and that will end the inning. The Cubs scored twice on the Santana home run. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning of a 2-0 Cub lead. Hernandez now the batter, leading off for the Blue Jays against Blake Snell. Snell coming in with 63 pitches. Here's a 3-0 count. Outside for ball 4. So Hernandez draws the walk. That's number 32 on the season for him. And it brings up Derek Fisher. The Blue Jays designated hitter steps up with nobody out, runner on first. So the guy that is designated to hit comes in a position where the Blue Jays need a hit to get back in this game. Here's a 2-2 count, and he lines that one past the second baseman into right field. Rounding second and going all the way to third on that single is going to be Hernandez. So the Blue Jays now have first and third with nobody out. And they are threatening here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Cavan Biggio is now the batter. 26 home runs on the season already, 0 for 1 today. Snell working with a 1-2 count. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Snell got a fastball up there at 95, and he strikes him out swinging. So that is strikeout number 6 on the day for Blake Snell, and it brings up Ruben Tejada. Tejada 0 for 1 today. Comes up with runners on the corners and 1 out. And here's the first pitch. Grounder back to the mound. Snell has it. Throws to second. There's no relay to first, however. Snell did look the runner back to third, preventing him from scoring. However, a hard slide at second base prevents the double play from being turned. And this now brings up Anthony Alford. With 2 outs, runners on the corners. Snell trying to get out of the bottom of the 5th inning. He's going to face Alford with a 1-2 count. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and Alford is punched out with the curveball. So Snell, despite working his way into a jam, gets back out of it. And the Cubs go to the top of the 6th inning, maintaining their 2-0 lead. Mike Tauschman now the batter, leading off for the Cubs in the top of the 6th against Chase Anderson, who is going to continue to work for the Blue Jays. 0-2 pitch to Mike Tauschman. Swing and a miss for strike 3. He chased one outside the zone right there. Jackie Bradley now the batter with 1 out and nobody on. Here's an 0-1 pitch to Jackie Bradley. And that is hit high and hard to deep right field. It might be. It is gone. And that is a home run for Jackie Bradley. A solo shot 395 feet. The Cubs have now increased their lead to 3-0. Wilson Ramos now the batter with 1 out, nobody on base. Here's a 3-1 count to Wilson Ramos, and that's lined over the first baseman's head into right field. The right fielder, Grichuk, cuts it off before it gets to the wall and holds Ramos to a single. Hayward now the batter with 1 out, runner on first. Cubs continuing to threaten here in the top of the 6th inning. Here's a 1-ball count. Grounder up the middle, the shortstop has it, flips to second. However, Ramos breaks up the double play at second base, and the Blue Jays only get 1 out. So Hayward is now on first on the fielder's choice as Drupal Cabrera comes up, and he's going to face a Blue Jay reliever. So Chase Anderson's day is over. Deolis Guerrera is the new pitcher for the Blue Jays. He comes in with 38 innings pitched, 16 walks, 32 strikeouts, and a .497 ERA. He will face Cabrera with 1 out, 2 outs, and 1 man on in the top of the 6th inning. Here is a full count payoff pitch to Asdrubal Cabrera. He's looking for the sign. The runner's going to be going, and he grounds it up the middle. The second baseman has it. Throws to first, and that will end the inning. So the Cubs score again on another home run. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is 3-0 Chicago. Rowdy Tellez is the leadoff hitter against Blake Snell in the bottom of the 6th inning. Snell coming in with 84 pitches. And he's working with a full count. Swing and a miss for strike 3. That was a fastball at 98. And Snell has still got it here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Really rushed it up there with some heat. That is strikeout number 8 on the day. And now Bo Bichette is the batter. 3-1 count. Grounder toward third. Excuse me. The shortstop has it. But he throws over to first and retires him regardless. So Bo Bichette is retired for out number 2 on the ground out. That is 6-3. And Grichuk is now the batter with 2 outs and nobody on. Grichuk waiting for the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. And Snell fires that slider past him to end the inning. We go to the top of the 7th inning. It is still 3-0 Cubs. Chris Bryant is going to lead off against Deolis Guerrero, who got the last out in the 6th inning for the Blue Jays. Guerrero working with a 1-1 count. Bryant waiting for the pitch. And Bryant slaps that one into left field. That's going all the way to the wall. Rounding first, heading for second. This is going to be extra bases as Bryant slides into second safely with a double. Leadoff extra base hit for Chris Bryant. He is standing on second. And the Cubs looking to extend this 3-0 lead. Xander Bogaerts now the batter. Top of the 7th inning, nobody out. And a 1-strike count to Xander Bogaerts. Here's the pitch. Grounder toward the opposite side. Bogaerts grounds out 4-3 for the first out of the inning. Bryant advances to third on the fielder's choice. And now Santana is the batter. With 1 out, 1 man on, and a 1-2 pitch. Santana swings and misses for strike 3. That was a fastball, and he could not catch up with it. That brings up Ian Happ. With Bryant on third, 2 outs, top of the 7th inning, and a 2-2 pitch to Ian Happ. And he pops that one up. Deep center field. Looks like there's going to be room. It's playable, and it is caught on the warning track for out number 3. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It is a 3-0 Cub lead. Sammy T is going to be the new Cub reliever in the bottom of the 7th inning. He comes in with 32 innings worked, 16 walks, 30 strikeouts, and a 5.06 ERA. He is going to work to Reese McGuire to lead off the 7th inning of the Blue Jays with a full count. Here's the pitch. Grounder toward first. It gets by the first baseman Santana and down the right field line. McGuire rounding first. He's heading for second. Hayward's throw comes into second, and it is late. And McGuire hustles into second with a leadoff double. I think McGuire surprised Hayward there by trying to extend that base hit. And now Teoscar Hernandez comes up with a runner in scoring position and nobody out. Here's an 0-2 pitch from Sammy T. Liner up the middle. That one splits the gap between second and short. The runner stops at third, and the Blue Jays have got something going. They have got first and third and nobody out. Derek Fisher is now the batter. Sammy T working to Derek Fisher with nobody out. Runners on the corners. Here's a 2-0 pitch. That is popped up to left field. It's deep. It's gonna be gone. And Tauschman looks up as that one clears the wall, 379 feet. We have a tie ball game in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Blue Jays on the Derek Fisher 3-run home run has just tied this game up at 3. And now Sean Doolittle will be brought in to pitch for the Cubs. The lefty Doolittle will face the lefty Biggio with nobody out in a tie game in the bottom of the 7th inning. Doolittle has thrown 38 1/3 innings, 13 walks, 34 strikeouts, and a 2.35 ERA. So Doolittle working with a full count. And here is the pitch to Biggio. He looks for the sign. And that is high. It is ball 4, and Doolittle loses him on the full count fastball. So Biggio heads down to first, and Tejada is the next batter. 2-1 pitch from Doolittle. That one's lined past Bryant into left field. That's going to be a base hit. The Blue Jays have first and second and nobody out, and they continue to get runners on base here in the bottom of the 7th inning. So Anthony Alford now is the batter. With nobody out, runners on first and second, and the Blue Jays already with 3 runs in this inning. Here's a full count pitch to Anthony Alford. Swing and a miss for strike 3. That's the first out of the inning for the Blue Jays. Strikeout number 100 on the season for Anthony Alford, and it brings up Rowdy Tellez. Tellez coming up with 1 out, runners on first and second. Here's a 1-2 pitch from Doolittle. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and Doolittle strikes him out 2 in a row. That was a fastball at 94. And that will be the end of the day for Doolittle as Edwin Diaz is brought in. The righty Diaz will be brought in to face the righty Bo Bichette. That sounds a lot like Boba Fett. I certainly hope that Bichette does not have the same tendencies as his fictional counterpart. Edwin Diaz coming in now to pitch for the Cubs in relief of Doolittle. He has thrown 45 1/3 innings, 20 walks, 68 strikeouts, and a 3.57 ERA. Bichette comes up with 2 outs, runners on first and second. Here's a 2-2 pitch from Diaz. And that's a grounder toward third. Bryant stabs it, throws to second, and gets the intermediate runner to end the inning. So the Blue Jays score 3 times. They tie the game on the Derek Fisher 3-run home run. We go to the top of the 8th inning. It is a brand new ball game. We are all tied up at 3. Deolis Guerrera is going to continue to pitch for the Blue Jays. He will face Mike Tauschman to lead off the Cubs half of the 8th inning. Here's the first pitch to Tauschman. And that's hit high and hard to deep right field. Looking up is Grichuk, and it is gone. The Cubs have their 3rd home run of the game. They have reestablished the lead at 4-3. That was 394 feet off the bat of Mike Tauschman. Home run number 10 for him on the season. And that will be the end of the day for Deolis Guerrera. We now have the righty Brad Wilson coming in to pitch for the Blue Jays. He will face Jackie Bradley with nobody out in the top of the 8th inning. Wilson has thrown 17 1/3 with 6 walks and 19 strikeouts and a 9.35 ERA. Is that a typo? Wow. So Wilson facing Bradley. Here's a 2-2 count. And Wilson looking for the sign. And here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and Bradley heads back to the dugout. That is strikeout number 20 on the season for Brad Wilson. Wilson Ramos now the batter with 1 out and nobody on. Here's a 1-strike count to Wilson Ramos. Lined over the shortstop's head into the gap in left center field. This is going to be extra bases. Ramos is rounding first, heading for second. He is going to slide into second with a 1-out double. And Ramos gets a base hit for the Cubs in the top of the 8th inning as they look to extend this 4-3 lead. Jason Hayward now batting for the Cubs. The lefty Hayward facing the righty Brad Wilson with 1 out and a runner in scoring position in the top of the 8th inning. Here is a 2-2 pitch to Jason Hayward. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and Hayward heads back to the dugout. That was a fastball at 96, and it brings up Asdrubal Cabrera, the switch hitter of Cabrera, batting from the left side against the righty Wilson with a runner in scoring position, 2 outs in the top of the 8th inning. Here's a full count pitch. The runner's going to be going. That is ball 4, and Asdrubal Cabrera draws the walk. Brings up Chris Bryant again. Bryant is 2 for 4 today, and he is facing Wilson with first and second and 2 outs. Here's a 1-strike pitch to Chris Bryant, and he's hit. He takes that one in the elbow and heads down to first. So suddenly the Cubs now have the bases loaded with 2 outs, and Xander Bogaerts is the batter. top of the 8th inning, Cubs looking to extend this 4-3 lead. Here's a one-strike pitch to Bogaerts. He lines that one in center field. It's going to drop for a base hit. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in as the throw comes home, but the runner slides home safely. And the Cubs now have a 6-3 lead. That is a 2-run RBI single for Xander Bogaerts. His season total is up to 67. And the Cubs have reestablished a 3-run lead in the top of the 8th inning. Danny Santana now batting with 2 outs and 2 runners on. Here's a 2-2 pitch. And Danny Santana swings and misses for strike 3. So that ends the inning, but not before the Cubs score 3 more times. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning of a 6-3 Cub lead. Edwin Diaz is going to continue to pitch as Kerry Wood has decided he has not thrown enough pitches yet in this game. Diaz facing Grichuk to lead off the bottom of the 8th inning. Here's a 1-1 pitch from Edwin Diaz. Grounder towards short. Bogaerts stabs it, throws to first, and that is out number 1. McGuire now the batter. Reese McGuire, 1 for 3 today. 2-2 count. Here's the pitch from Diaz. Swing and a miss, first strike 3. Gets him with the fastball at 100 miles an hour. So Diaz sets him down for out number 2. It brings up Teoscar Hernandez. He is 1 for 1 today. And a 1-2 pitch from Diaz. Swing and a miss, first strike 3. That was a high fastball. Second strikeout of the inning as the Blue Jays go down in order. We go to the top of the 9th inning, and the Cubs working with a 6-3 lead. The Blue Jays are going to bring in another relief pitcher. This is Sam Gaviglio. He has thrown 57 1/3 innings in the season, 14 walks, 47 strikeouts, and a 3.30 ERA. He will face Ian Happ to lead off the Cubs half of the 9th inning. Here's a 1-strike count. And Gaviglio with the pitch. Grounder back toward the mound. Happ is thrown out 1-3 for the first out of the inning. Tauschman now the batter. He is 2 for 4 with a home run and an RBI already in this game. Here is a 1-strike pitch to Mike Tauschman. And that's a grounder toward short. The throw goes over to first, and Tauschman is retired for out number 2. Jackie Bradley now the batter with 2 outs and nobody on. Here's a 1-strike pitch to Jackie Bradley. Grounder toward first. This time the first baseman Tellez has its steps on the base, and that will be out number 3. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. It is a 6-3 Cub lead. Edwin Diaz will continue to pitch for the Cubs. He has thrown an inning and 2/3 already in this game. And he is facing Derek Fisher, who is 2 for 3 with a home run and 3 RBIs. This is the man that tied up the game in the bottom of the 7th inning. Diaz facing Fisher with a 2-2 count. Here is the pitch. Grounder towards second. The throw goes to first, and that is out number 1. Biggio now the batter. 1 out, nobody on. Here's an 0-2 pitch to Cavan Biggio. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and Diaz gets strikeout number 3 with a fastball at 97. And now, Raziel Iglesias will be brought in with 2 outs and nobody on in the bottom of the 9th inning, because why not? Iglesias will face Ruben Tejada to try to earn the save here in Toronto in the bottom of the 9th inning. Iglesias has thrown 48 1/3 innings. He has 15 walks, 69 strikeouts, and a 2.61 ERA. Iglesias working with an 0-1 pitch. And here it comes. And that's a popped up in shallow center field. Going back is the second baseman Cabrera, and he gets a glove on it for out number 3. So the Cubs are victorious 6-3 in today's ballgame. This is win number 3 in a row for the Cubs. The Cubs get 6 runs on 12 hits with no errors. The Blue Jays get 3 runs on 7 hits with no errors. The player of today's game is the Cubs starter Blake Snell, who did not earn the save due to Sam Tuivailala actually allowing the game to be tied in the 7th. Snell went 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 9 strikeouts. He has been very effective so far since the Cubs traded for him. The win goes to Edwin Diaz, who worked 2 innings and struck out 3 in scoreless relief. The Blue Jays, Deolis Guerrera actually is tagged with the loss. He drops to 2-5. He threw an inning and a third of 2-hit, 1-run baseball and allowed the game to be untied in the top of the 8th inning. So the honorable mention for the Cubs today is going to be Danny Santana. He went 2 for 5 and drove in 2 and scored a run. We see that the Cubs got home runs from Tauchman, Bradley, and Santana in this game. So the Cubs improved to 58-63 while the Blue Jays dropped to 53-71. Thank you for watching Replacement Player Baseball.